So you might have heard that the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise is coming to Steam, and by extension, the Steam Deck. While most of the games will be available on Steam on June the 13th, there will be one very notable exception. And it's a unusual one at that too. It's the DS title, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. It is included in the collection as a sort of cutscene compilation. This may be the best way to view all of the cutscenes, for sure. But are you really playing the game? No. Thankfully, someone saw this and took it upon themselves to create a sort of fan remaster. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days Melon Mix. What is this? How does it work? And how do we get it set up on our Steam Deck? But before that, if you like this video or any other video I make, please like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends. Spreading the good gospel of high-tech low life lets the YouTube algorithm know that I'm doing well. Melon Mix uses a modified version of Melon DS, the very excellent Nintendo DS emulator. It's specifically modified to handle 358 over 2 days. It turns this DS game into a single screen game. The target information and the minimap that would be on the bottom screen is now overlaid somewhere on the top screen. Despite being a DS game, you never really needed the touchscreen to do anything. You could do everything with the controller. So how do we get this to work? Well, it's pretty simple. First, you'll need to download it from the official GitHub page. I'll have a link in the description down below. It's from a guy named Vitor251093. You'll need to head to the Releases tab to download the latest version. As of the making of this video, it's version 0.2.1. You'll see a version labeled App Image. You'll be using this version to run it on your Steam Deck. Once the zip file is downloaded, you'll want to extract it somewhere. You can extract this literally anywhere on your Steam Deck. You could put it on your SSD, or you could put it on your micro SD card, which is what I'm gonna do in this case. So you'll want to make its own separate folder. What you'll need to do first is make a new folder, and then you can just name it whatever you want. Just know that if you're trying to name it after the actual game itself, you can't use slashes, so I just put a period there. Anyways, inside the zip file that you just downloaded should be an app image file. You'll want to drag that over and then drag it into your new folder. Now comes the hard part. You'll need to secure yourself a ROM of Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. The ROM will need to be in a .nds format, but as a content creator, I can't tell you where to get the ROM, so either dump it yourself if you have a legit copy, or just Google it, dude. After getting a ROM file, you'll need to right-click your app image and then press Properties. Inside the Properties menu, you should see a Permissions section, and then you'll need to check that Is Executable checkbox, and then press OK. In this folder, you'll need to make a ROM folder, all lowercase, ROM. That's it. After you make this ROM folder, you will then need to rename your ROM file. In this case, the .nds file needs to be named game.nds, and then you just move it into your ROM file, and now you can launch Melon Mix. So there's a lot of interesting quirks with Melon Mix. On the onset, it doesn't seem like it's doing anything different, but there is still additional setup that needs to be done. What you want to do first is add this app image directly to Steam. Just right-click it and press Add to Steam, and it should work just like that. If that doesn't work for you, then just manually add it to Steam yourself. There are other methods of adding games to Steam after all. You will see this in your non-Steam games. But for now, we're going to make some configurations. First and foremost, you'll want to modify the control configuration. You'll want to have your trackpad set to mouse, both moving your mouse and clicking it. Trust me, this will save you a lot of grief. I like to set the trackpads as both mouse movement and left click as well. This won't be used in-game, but rather it's used to modify settings in the emulator itself. I like to change the graphical details. The video rendering at 5x native is a little too high for the Steam Deck to run at a stable 60 FPS. I like to keep it at 3x native. Then you'll want to press OK. Then the next thing you'll want to change up is input and hotkeys. You'll then need to define custom controls. In this case, it's fairly simple. I mean, you get it, right? Just map things the way they should be. D-pads, face buttons, triggers, start and select. I mean, what more is there to say, really? It's not a modernized version of the game, so don't expect like analog stick movement or analog stick camera controls. That hasn't been implemented. I don't know if that'll happen yet or not, but we'll see. I also like to set one of my keys to toggle full screen. That way, in case anything goes wrong or I need to change settings, I can just exit out of full screen and then change the settings that way. Since I'm using the bumpers for L and R, I set this to one of my triggers. And then there isn't really much else you need to do. Just press OK and you're good to go. Now you can full screen the game in its full glory, and man, it does look quite nice. We're gonna do mission mode. If you're a new player, I wouldn't recommend diving directly into mission mode. I gotta say, man, the game looks really nice here. No, I don't have a decent panel loadout, and honestly, I will have to do that later. So yeah, I'm getting my balls rocked. But hey, what matters is that the game works and it looks fairly modern too. Sure, it doesn't control like a modern game, but it's the entire game on a single screen. Yes, parts of the game do render as if it was still a dual screen layout, but that's kind of a minor issue. You can just control the entire game with the controller. The main gameplay portion itself is still in a single contained screen, which is awesome. Given that this is a DS game, there are some limitations, especially with graphics and also controls, but I mean, hey, it works pretty well. But it is worth mentioning that at the end of the day, this is still emulation. There are limits to what you can do, really. But this is some seriously interesting stuff, especially with emulation. So this is also the part where we talk about how to play the rest of the franchise on the Steam Deck. So the Steam version, as you know, is coming out on June the 13th. While I haven't necessarily played the Steam versions myself, it'll probably be the best way to play these games on the Steam Deck. But here's something to keep into account. Summer Games Fest is happening on June the 7th. This is where all of the big game announcements are going to happen, and part of me thinks we're going to get some information on Kingdom Hearts 4. But you know what I'm interested in seeing? I'm interested in seeing if Kingdom Hearts 4 will come to PC day one. Square Enix also mentioned that their new strategy is going multi-platform. No more exclusivity. Sure, this could be read as no more PlayStation exclusives, but I think this could also be read as no more Epic exclusives either. So maybe, just maybe, Kingdom Hearts 4 will come to Steam day one. But this is just me huffing the copium, and this is all just speculation. So do keep that in mind, will you? If you like this video, please press the like button and check out our other videos. And if you like those other videos as well, be sure to press the subscribe button and share the good gospel of high-tech lowlife with your friends. Furthermore, we have a community Discord for enlightened individuals such as you. And if you wish to further support high-tech lowlife, be sure to check out our Patreon page. Links in the description.